Have you lost yourself and don't know who you are anymore after divorce? This is literally the most common thing that I hear from every single woman I know after divorce. So you are not alone. It feels incredibly overwhelming to rebuild your life after being with someone for so long, with you living together, with your finances together, with everything that you do together, and now you have to do it yourself. Nobody ever taught us how to do this, and it's extremely scary and unstabilizing for the first few months, sometimes years, and that is okay. And I wish someone told me how I can go find myself and be clear with who I am and tell me the steps so then I can rebuild my life from a place of groundedness and confidence. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that I wish someone told me after divorce so that I didn't feel so lost and I could just start mapping out how I can rebuild my life. The first tip here is you don't have to find your perfect new identity. There's no such thing as a solid identity. We evolve as humans. There are many versions of us. Even within our menstrual cycle as women, we can have different personalities, and that is okay. Because we live in a society of black and white, so we feel like, oh, we need to find this perfect answer. What is my purpose in life? What do I have to do? And if I don't find it, I am a failure. I want to assure you that is not the case. Especially, I'm a Gemini, I'm a chameleon, I change all the time. By doing, experimenting with life, you find out data about yourself. The whole cliche thing of go find yourself in Bali is kind of true. That's why I traveled to 47 countries. It's not the action of having to go to Bali, which of course I did. It's really about observing yourself in those moments when you're experimenting different things. Does this light me up? Does this drain me? Oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable in this situation. What data is showing up for you in those experiments? That is what we want as precious information for you to become aware to find yourself. And this self-discovery is what gives you discernment going forward. You don't have to get it right every time. You just have to start taking action. I know this one really intimately if you're stuck in analyst paralysis. If you're a smart woman, we tend to like to strategize and make sure we have the perfect plan, otherwise we won't do it. I got really called out when I saw a meme on Instagram saying researching more information is a smart person's favorite form of procrastination. If you also feel called out like me, I'm here right with you. When those moments of over-analysis, let's figure out one small action you can take right away. What can you experiment? Just pick one thing that might be outside your comfort zone or something that you would not normally do and try it out and make it as a safe space as you can if possible. An example would be I tried pickleball for the first time a couple months back. I feel so uncomfortable doing it because I am a recovering perfectionist and I hate sucking. And this is the irony of picking up a new skill. How can you be good at something when you've never done it before? But my mind says that I need to be perfect anyways. And so I procrastinate and procrastinate. In order to make this a safe space, I started playing with friends that I feel very comfortable with, that I know I won't be judged. That helped. I played 12 times. I hired a coach twice. And I realized I still didn't like it. This is the discernment. Just because everyone likes it, it doesn't mean you have to like it either. The key is trying. Have you allowed yourself to try and then say confidently that this is not your thing? These 3 questions you can ask yourself to see if this is right for you or not and go from there. What in your body is screaming, you know for a fact this is not right for you? Or is it a self-sabotage protective pattern to tell you not to get outside of your comfort zone? Or is it something that you just need to really try and then you fall in love with it or not? This comes to tip number 2. Learn to observe your thoughts and feelings. This can be done through journaling, dumping out your thoughts, whatever happening. This is magical because a lot of times when our thoughts are stuck in our head, you cannot see it from black and white. If you can separate those thoughts onto paper, you remove your identity from it and you can see it more objectively. You can see the flaw in your logic and then you'll be like, wait, this is actually really silly. Or you're, oh, this makes sense. Oh, this is how the dots connect. And journaling helps you see that more clearly. Now, meditation is another way of really being able to sit with yourself and observe the thoughts that is going through your head and not let them control you. Being able to just sit with yourself is another whole skill that we want to cultivate after divorce, especially if we're so used to being with someone and sitting with ourselves is uncomfortable. Because I know it's very confronting. We don't like to sit with our own thoughts. But once you do it more, you start to like your own company. It is a practice. Let yourself go through that journey. It will get better from there. Then we want to feel how it's like when we're doing the different activities. If we are actually feeling guarded in the body, are we feeling unsafe? Are we feeling uncomfortable? Are we feeling triggered? What are the different things that is showing up in your body sensation-wise as you try these things? And they're the perfect signal for you to know if it's right or wrong for you. The most important thing with observing your thoughts and feelings is to not judge yourself. Just imagine you a scientist taking these data as information and be like, interesting, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm thinking, and you don't attach your self-worth to it, because as soon as you do, you can go down the shame spiral and not get out for a while, because let's be real, I did that for years and it was not productive at all. And of course, this is easier said than done, but do your best. That's what the meditation it's really good for, to help you detach your own self-worth from your thoughts and feelings. And that way you can use them as productive information. Tip number 3 is to build your self-trust muscle. After divorce, it is very hard to trust ourselves again for some of us, because we made the biggest mess up of our lives, picking the wrong person, the marriage didn't work out, so it can really dampen our self-esteem. That's totally normal. It takes practice again to build that self-trust muscles back up. So start with those actions, small little steps again, to give you evidence that you can make the right decisions. And I want to make sure that you set up actions that are realistic, because if you give yourself a super huge goal, it might be too complicated to achieve it right away. You feel defeated again, and then it becomes a reinforcing, self-defeating prophecy. And so I want to make sure that you give yourself those small wins so that you can build the momentum and confidence step by step each day. For example, you want to start taking care of your body. There are a million things you can do on the list to achieve that, but what is the easiest step that will be silly that you won't be able to complete? For example, I want to go to the gym, but a smaller step of that is I just need to put on some gym clothes. I don't even need to get out of the door yet. I just need to put some gym clothes on. That's step 1. And then maybe the next day, step 2, I'm going to just walk to the gym in the gym clothes and be there and walk back. You know what I mean? Like, the steps are very, very tiny. And then as you build it up, you give yourself the proof that you can keep promises to yourself. And once you're at the gym, the next thing you know, okay, let me go on the treadmill for 5 minutes. The next thing you know, okay, I'm actually trying out the gym machines. The next thing you know, you're going there regularly and taking care of your body. Tip 4, play with your inner child. When I was a kid, my parents used to talk to me through stuffed animals because as Asian parents, they never express love and it's very embarrassing and awkward. So they actually would hug me through a stuffed animal, say I love you through a stuffed animal because it's cute. And so now I have reintroduced that practice into my own life. This character is Chibi Maruko-chan from a Japanese anime. Now, I watched her growing up when I was a kid in Cantonese dub because I was born in Hong Kong. And that brought back so many memories, and I talk to her every day, and she's my little representation of inner child. It brings me so much joy, and to be able to communicate and externalize my inner child like this in a way that was very familiar to me, like how my parents talk to me. So this is my format. What is your format? What do you used to love as a child that authentically lights you up? Another example would be I loved to sing as a kid. So after divorce, I immediately went to sing a bunch of sad songs, and it was the greatest cathartic release ever. So whatever it is, go try them. See if they still light you up. It might bring back that playfulness that we have lost after divorce. Tip number 5 is not to care about what others people think. I know this is way harder than it seems, but when we have done the first 4 tips where you're now more aligned with what you want and what you don't want, and you're confidently be able to say no to things that doesn't serve you, which by the way, leaving the marriage was that step. So if you could do that, you can do these little things too. And this one interesting mindset shift for me was I already stepped out of line being divorced. I might as well go all the way and go live on my own terms. I already broke the societal rules. Let's do it my way this time. It's a new opportunity to completely build someone new. And of course, the people who are used to the old you are gonna get very uncomfortable because most of us really like familiarity. Even though you might be doing something amazing for yourself, people can judge. One is that they just don't like something different. 2 is a projection, a mirror of what they wish they could have done, but they couldn't. And now, the analogy of the crabs, where if one crab is swimming up and not being boiled and is surviving, the rest of the crabs being boiled in the pot will grab it back down. It's gonna be a lot of resistance climbing up and swimming upstream. That's why we have to stick together as divorced women to celebrate and encourage each other that stepping out of line is okay as long as you feel that it is aligned to you and of course you're not hurting anybody else. The most important thing that I realized is that nobody cares about other people as much as they care about themselves. If we really try to change all our actions or be someone just because of what other people say and think, well, the consequences and the responsibility of those actions fall back to us. People can judge you for a few seconds or maybe for a month or 2, but then they go back to their own lives. But we're left with our own responsibilities of the actions that we take. So don't alter your life just because people are gonna judge you for a temporary period of time. The last one, bonus round, is to find your self-sabotage patterns. Now we want to become the most radiant person ever, right? After divorce, to have that glow up. But like we said before, the crabs like to drag us down, and that is not just exclusive to other people. We do that within ourselves as well. Our body are wired to survive, not to thrive. So as soon as we're trying to shift to a new identity, it's gonna try to bring you back to the old one. These self-sabotage patterns are actually protection, and they're just trying to keep you in the familiar. So realizing what they are and what they're trying to do to serve you in the best intention possible, you can then starting to release it. And you can start to allow your body to feel a bit safer in becoming a new identity. I know it's very hard to find your subconscious block, and that's why I have a glow up quiz in the link in the description below. You can find out if your identity, if your money, if your body is the dominant block, or maybe all three. Now, identity is about self-worth, money is about safety, and body is about your nervous system, right? And so it's not really just the surface levels that we're talking about, it's something deeper than that. And it's really useful if you can find out which one you have. If you do the quiz, you'll also get a map of how you can release those blocks as well. Thank you for being here. I know that all of us are trying to find our true selves after divorce. As a reminder, it's never just one destination. We're evolving, removing layers from before and becoming more and more radiant as we evolve, because this time you are choosing you.